What would you do if the only thing standing between someone's pain and their healing was you? Would you walk away, or would you risk what little you had to help? Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story that proves one simple truth, that a single act of kindness can change not just one life, but two, forever. It's about a poor mechanic who had nothing to give but his hands, and a broken young woman who had lost everything but hope. He repaired her leg for free, not knowing that a month later, she would walk back into his life as a millionaire. And what she did for him left an entire town speechless. Stay with me till the very end, because the twist in this story will make you believe in humanity again. If the story touched your heart, show your love, like, share, and comment your thoughts. Some stories begin quietly, but this one starts with a sound that still echoes in the lives of those who heard it. The metallic crash of an old bicycle against the pavement, followed by a cry of pain that would change two destinies forever. It was late afternoon in the small, forgotten town of Brookville. The streets were lined with rusting cars, faded shop signs, and the smell of oil and gasoline drifting from a worn-out garage at the corner. Inside that garage worked a man named Ethan Cole, a 32-year-old mechanic whose hands were permanently stained with grease, whose face carried lines far deeper than his age. Life hadn't been kind to him, but he still showed up every day, fixing broken machines to earn barely enough for rent and food. But Ethan had one thing many around him lacked: kindness. A kind of quiet, unshakable kindness that wasn't loud, wasn't flashy, but sat deep in his bones like a truth he could never abandon. That evening, just as Ethan was locking up his garage, he heard the crash. He ran to the source and found a young woman lying on the pavement, her bicycle bent beyond repair. She was clutching her leg, tears streaking her dirt-smudged face. Her name was Clara Bennett. 26 years old, she had recently moved into town after losing her job in the city. Life had forced her into survival mode. Cheap apartments, second-hand clothes, and a bicycle as her only way to move around. But even survival mode hadn't prepared her for this moment. Her leg was badly twisted, maybe even fractured, and she didn't have health insurance. When Ethan knelt beside her, she tried to wave him away. I can't afford a doctor," Clara stammered, choking back pain. "Please, don't call anyone." Ethan looked at her, his tired brown eyes softening. "I'm not going to call anyone," he said gently. "I'll help you. Trust me." And in that dimly lit garage, surrounded by broken engines and oil stains, Ethan did something he had never done before. He became more than a mechanic. Using the limited first aid supplies he kept in a rusty box, he carefully examined Clara's leg. His late mother had once been a nurse, and as a boy, Ethan had often watched her tend to injured neighbors who couldn't afford hospital bills. Those memories guided his hands now. It wasn't perfect. He wasn't a doctor. But with steady patience, Ethan wrapped her leg, adjusted it, and created a makeshift brace out of spare parts from his workshop. It was crude but stable, enough to relieve her pain and help her walk again. Clara watched him in awe, fighting back tears. Not from pain this time, but from the realization that this stranger was pouring his time and effort into her without asking for a single penny. When he finally finished, Ethan smiled faintly. "It's not professional, but it should hold until it heals. Just take it easy for a while." "How much do I owe you?" Clara asked weakly. Ethan shook his head. "Nothing. People are more important than money." That sentence lodged itself deep in Clara's heart. She wanted to argue, to insist, but her voice broke. She nodded instead, whispering, "Thank you." For the next month, Clara visited Ethan's garage often. Not for repairs, but because walking was still hard, and Ethan insisted on checking her leg. Their conversations grew longer each time. Clara shared how she had been laid off from her corporate job after her company downsized. How she'd been trying to start over but felt like the world was against her. Ethan shared little about himself, but Clara noticed things. The empty shelves in his house, the way he sometimes skipped meals, the exhaustion hidden behind his quiet smile. Slowly, a friendship formed. Something unspoken yet profound. But Clara wasn't just any ordinary young woman. She had once been a rising star in the world of software design, a brilliant mind who had worked on projects worth millions. Her downfall wasn't from lack of talent but from betrayal. Her ideas stolen, her efforts dismissed, and her savings drained. Still, in the quiet of that small town, as Ethan adjusted her brace and reminded her to rest, Clara began to rediscover something she had lost: hope. One evening, she sat on a bench outside the garage, her leg nearly healed. "Ethan," she said softly, "why did you help me? You barely know me." Ethan wiped his greasy hands with an old rag. "Because once, someone helped me when I had nothing. My mother used to say, 'The world is full of broken things. Machines, hearts, bones. If you can fix even one of them, you've done something worthwhile.' I guess I just try to keep that alive." Clara blinked back tears. That night she couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling of her tiny apartment, remembering Ethan's words. And a thought sparked in her mind: what if she could repay him in a way he would never expect? She had a plan. A month later, Ethan returned to his garage after another long day. He was used to disappointment. Customers who didn't pay, bills piling up, and the silent fear that his garage would soon close for good. But that evening, something unusual waited outside his shop. A sleek black car, a driver in a suit, and standing beside it was Clara, dressed in a tailored outfit that made her look nothing like the struggling woman he had first met. "Clara?" Ethan asked, stunned. She smiled, eyes shimmering. "I owe you an explanation." What Ethan didn't know was that in the weeks after he repaired her leg, Clara had reconnected with an old investor who still believed in her ideas. She pitched a new project, a software platform designed to help small-town businesses grow without huge costs. The investor loved it. Within weeks, funding poured in. And overnight, Clara went from broke and broken to being worth millions. But instead of moving away to luxury, her first thought had been Ethan, the man who fixed her leg when she had nothing. She walked toward him, her voice trembling with emotion. "You gave me back my strength when I was at my lowest. You didn't ask for money, you didn't ask for anything. But because of you, I stood back up. I built something. And now..." She handed him an envelope. Inside was a document with his name on it. Ownership papers. The garage was no longer drowning in debt. It was his, fully paid off. And not just that, Clara had arranged for him to become a partner in her new company's transportation branch, ensuring he'd never struggle again. Ethan's hands shook as he looked at her. "Clara, I can't accept this. I didn't do it for..." She interrupted, tears running down her cheeks. "You did it because you're good. And that's exactly why you deserve this. You saved me, Ethan. Now let me save you." For the first time in years, Ethan felt his chest tighten. Not from exhaustion or hunger, but from overwhelming gratitude. The mechanic who once had nothing now had more than he ever dreamed of. Not because of luck, but because kindness had come back to him full circle. And as Clara stood beside him, both of them knew. Sometimes, the smallest act of selflessness can change the entire course of two lives. Because Ethan didn't just repair her leg. He repaired her faith in humanity. And she, in return, repaired his future. This is the story of Ethan and Clara. A reminder that even the smallest act of kindness can ripple into something extraordinary. You never know whose life you might touch, or how that life might one day touch yours.